So David and Moses, let's talk about this year and what it's been like for you guys. Let me just throw out sort of a hypothetical. Say there's a show that the fans adore, starts with a C. Okay. We'll call it Cougar Town, just for sake of. But Cougar Town has to undergo a showrunner change.
Sure. Well, first of all, before you start, there's a little known fact. Dan Harmon was not with the show this year. It wasn't reported or anything. I'm letting everyone know that right now.
I should know.
So, yeah.
Was this on the news?
Yeah.
All right. So obviously you had to, there are some fans who are going to say this just isn't the same show, and this isn't Dan's show, and it's tough to come in and have to work with that. Talk about that and sort of what it's been like this year, and what you've hoped to do, and what you feel you've accomplished with season 4.
Well, it is hard because we were huge fans of the show beforehand, and Dan is someone who we knew as a writer, 10 years ago when he had a pilot script that everyone was passing around called Heat, Vision, and Jack. That, holy shit, did you see that? So, obviously we knew we were going to fail. And once you accept that, it's okay. No, what it came down to is, as you see tonight at the table read, and that's why it was such a great exercise to share with everyone, is, and you see it on TV all the time, of course, is just the cast is just so fantastic, and the heart and soul of the show. Once you're a writer who creates something, you sort of, the heart and soul of the show becomes the people who are performing it. I mean, to us, that's just kind of the way it works. So even though there was this great creative talent that was no longer with the show this year, there are all these other great creative talents who are continuing to give it its spirit and its life. And, they just did that week in and week out, and they helped us at every turn, letting us know when they felt we were veering off course, or there was it was just something that someone felt like they weren't going to say, or a scene that didn't feel right, or a story that they felt like needed to be addressed. We just felt like, well, we really need to listen to them because they've been doing this for the past 3 years and they know the show inside and out, and that was just an asset to lean on that maybe was different than the way it had been in the past. So that's just the approach that we took, and we're proud of the shows that we did, and we just kind of wish we could show them all at once, like, here are all 13 all at once, go eat them up. Just to get the sort of full range of storytelling that we got to sort of do this season.
Hey, you guys told me back in October that, for example, when you decided to do an Inspector Spacetime episode, the network and studio were like, what are you doing? But yes. you managed to still sort of do a show that kind of stays true to what Community's been over the past 4 years.
The show's always been so true to its voice, and it really would shut out outside influences as much as possible. And so when this 401, which the episode that we read tonight, our premiere episode, when we pitched that to the network and the studio, they really did not want to do it, and they fought us very hard on it, and we hung up the phone, we're like, okay, we know we're on the right track on this one. It's basically like, and then there was one they liked, this is great, we're like, what are we doing wrong? Why did they like this one? So it was like a very different barometer you're kind of using to sort of guide yourself creatively, but, and that really is just a credit to what Dan did the first 3 years, and sort of like tunneling through mountains to make sure that he was doing the show the way that the people that were creating it wanted to do the show. And, we got the benefit from that, those rules being created by him and everyone else beforehand.
And for the cast, I mean, you guys have had the pleasure now of continuing in these roles for, probably much longer than anyone expected. Talk about that. And
Why? You've been writing a lot longer than you expected?
I have, but you guys know what I mean. I mean, it's been a gift. Thanks to the fans, thanks to the show has continued on. What am I saying? I'm just digging myself a hole.
No,
you know what I'm
saying. It's been as actors. Any actors out here? Anyone? You guys know you're kind of like a gypsy, right? So you go from set to set and opportunity to opportunity, and you never really know what your next thing is going to be. The thing that, when I hear people say, oh, you only got, if we end, you only got 4 years. 4 years is great. You know what I mean? Like, we made it to syndication, and we got to meet all you guys, and we've been to Paley Fest 4 years in a row. Like, this has been a great run. So as an actor, it's hard when you know friends that are more talented than you or more beautiful than you or whatever that aren't working. It's kind of hard to be on this side of it and go, only 4 years. Like, this is, we're in the gravy years of our careers and the gravy years of this show. So if we get to continue and do another year, it will be an awesome blessing, and we'll get to come back hopefully and see you all again. But it's not a bad thing. 4 years is great. So remember that whatever happens in May, we made it 4 years and we did it together, and that's a great thing.